Now, where are you from?
I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
What part exactly?
Southwest Detroit.
Still living there?
Nah, I stay in Las Vegas now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
And when did you move to Vegas?
About 5 years ago.
And what was the reason for the move?
Well, I know what I'm saying, it's kind of rough and fucked up in Detroit. You know what I'm saying, as far as crime-wise and all that. I had 2 beautiful daughters, twin daughters. So, you know what I'm saying, I wanted to get them out of there and show them something different.
Now, why Vegas? Out of any place you could have moved to from Detroit, why Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, it's the entertainment capital of the world, you know, so, you know, it's a lot more, basically, opportunities as far as, you know, music-wise and movies and things of that nature, and I'm into both, so.
Now, what you just described, when you say music and movies, some people would say Los Angeles, some people would say Atlanta. Some people would say New York City.
Yeah, but see, if Vegas, the cost of living in Vegas is way cheaper than California. So LA is only 3 hours away, 3.5 hours away in a drive, so it's kind of like the best of both worlds.
Is marijuana legalized?
Yes, it is.
In Nevada?
Yes, it is.
Okay, got you. Yeah, so not too far off there, right?
Right.
Okay, now you moved 5 years ago to Vegas. What was it like, though, growing up for you in Detroit and living in Vegas? Paint the picture for us.
Man, Detroit, growing up in Detroit, wow. Growing up in Detroit it has ups and downs, you know, pros and cons, reason being because, I mean, I come from a family, my family hustles, you know what I'm saying? They definitely get it out the street, got it out the mud. Like, my mom is like one of the biggest inspirations in my music. Because I seen a lot of things when I was growing up. You know, at that time, she was doing her thing. And I was the only kid in the neighborhood going to school in Limos. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Ma would call her 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, you know, to come check out new merchandise before they even put it out on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up around that, and that hustle she got, she put it in me. And I applied it to what I do.
Now, would you consider your upbringing rough?
I mean, it was rough patches along the way, you know.
Spoiled?
In the beginning, you know, but, you know, that life don't last forever.
Which I've heard.
Yeah.
Time and time again. There's a high point. There's a low point.
Always. Was
there a point where your mom or your parents lost everything? Or it got really bad? Or always had money?
She walked away from it, basically.
Okay.
And started fresh.
Okay.
And, you know, and we went on from there.
I see. Now, as a kid in school, what type of student were you?
I was, in school, I was quiet. When I was younger, I was quiet, you know, until I got to, like, middle school. And, you know, I was a sports fanatic and things of that nature, and I kind of opened up a little bit more when it came to sports and things of that nature. So. Graduated
high school?
Actually, no, I didn't. I got a G.E.D.
Out.
Yeah.
What grade?
11th.
Almost done.
Yeah.
Why drop out? What was the reasoning?
It was a lot going on. You know, I had a couple family issues going on. My grandmother got sick. My uncle just passed away. It was a lot of things going on, so I couldn't focus.
Was your grandma able to survive that sickness?
Yeah, she had a heart attack, so kind of like threw everything off.
What did your uncle pass away from?
He died in his sleep. He had an aneurysm.
So you get out of high school a little early. You eventually get your GED pretty quick after the dropout, or did it take some time before
It was some time afterwards because I was going to go into this program or whatever, and the program kept prolonging as far as Job Corps.
Okay.
And it kept prolonging, and oh, you're going to be sent out this day, and it kept changing. So I got frustrated with that and just went and just did the GED myself.
I see. So no college for you.
Yeah, actually, I did go to college.
You did go to college?
Yeah, I stayed 2 semesters.
Dropped out of that too. Why?
I pursued music. I couldn't make up my mind what I wanted to go for because I'm like in the health. I like kind of like the health management type situation.
Okay.
You know, so I was deep into that, and it wasn't really what I wanted to do. I wanted to do music, and at the time, the school I was going to, they didn't offer classes for music.
Okay.
So that's basically what happened with the college thing.
Now, with the college thing, when you say you only did like 2 semesters,
Yeah.
Is that a year?
Basically,
right?
yeah.
But when you do college, the first 2 years are like general classes. Then you get into your major the last 2 years of a bachelor's degree.
Yeah, I went
You get your associates,
yeah,
your first 2
associate.
years associates, but those are like general classes. They're not focused on a major. The last 2 years are more focused on a major.
Yeah, I just kind of got like, it was more so, this ain't for me. You know what I mean? I came to that realization of, nah, this ain't what I want to do. I want to go to school for music. And at that time, they didn't offer that.
I see.
So I just kind of like, I was starting going to the studio real heavy, you know, working with different engineers and picking up things on my own.
So that was after the college experience?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, maybe
but I always did music.
But you took it seriously.
Yeah, I started taking it serious then.
I see.
Because, I mean, man, high school, I used to skip lunch and go to the music room.
I see.
So
now, sometimes kids follow up on what their parents do. So you said your mom was in the streets, she got out of it. Did you get into the streets yourself as well, or did you stay away from it?
For a time period, yeah, for a little time period in my life, yeah, I did.
Was that during high school? Was that during?
No, it was after, that was around that time when I made that transition to getting out of high school and going to college within that time frame.
I see.
And then it happened again after I decided not to finish college, so.
Now, dealing with the streets, is that unavoidable? Could you have made another decision?
Not in Detroit. It's not unavoidable in Detroit. You know, so, I mean, it's the environment. Everywhere you go is fucked up. You know what I mean? It's like there's no, like, good point in the city. And you're going to fall, you know, subject to doing something in the streets.
I see.
Because, I mean, everybody, their mind frame is fucked up. It's, you know.
Now, when it comes to somebody watching this, listening to your story, seeing this interview, what do you tell a kid, kind of in a similar position, right? Let's say they have one foot in the streets and they're about to finish high school and they got to make the next decision in their life. What do you tell a kid like that?
Oh, man, stay with school. Because the streets is they gonna make you old before your time, I'm telling you. Stay in school. Stick with it. I mean, I know it get hard and things like that. You just can't give up. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you want to have something in life, you got to stay in school. The streets is going to drive you crazy.
Now, what about that kid about to finish high school? And let's say they want to pursue a music career. Let's say, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like a rapper in front of the camera like yourself. There's other positions in music. But let's say it's somebody that wants to pursue a music career and they're finishing high school. Do you tell that person go right into music after high school, or do you tell that person continue education and do music simultaneously?
I would tell them to finish, you know, continue their education and do it simultaneously, because music is 90% business, 10% talent. So if you don't know the business, you're gonna get screwed, period.
Did you get screwed?
A couple managers screwed me over, I mean, but I learned from trial and error, so.
I see. Now, my next question to you is, if you could go back in time, would you have even attempted that time that you did in college, or would you have not even gone and just went straight to the music?
No, I would have went. I actually would have stuck with it, and you know, when classes came available for that, I would have took those classes, because I mean, when they say knowledge is power, knowledge is really power. Because if you don't know what you're doing and you think you just going by, you know, playing it by ear and everything day by day with this music thing, you're going to lose. Because it's always, you know, you're dealing with the wrong people. You won't even be able to recognize that.
Was that amount of time for you in college fair, or do you wish you would have finished it, or maybe got the AA, or?
Me personally, I wish I would have finished it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Now, when you did drop out, what did your mom think? What were her thoughts on you?
I mean, she's the type of person, you know, definitely for school, you know, stay in school and things of that nature. But, you know, she looks at it like, you know, she's not going to force it on you because school is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? School is definitely not for everybody.
So she wasn't upset or disappointed with your decision?
I mean, in the beginning she was, but she seen that I wasn't just trying not to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I attempted to do different things, you know what I'm saying? Trying to find my way, so to speak.
Now, jobs you had growing up, if any?
Oh man, I worked at Fairlane Mall. I think I was 16 years old.
And what were you doing? What was the job? What was the gig?
The reason I say I was into health, I was working at a smoothie shop, and we used to put like make protein drinks and things of that nature.
Okay.
So, and my cousin was the manager / owner of it at that time. So.
Any other jobs or just that gig?
I mean, just that job, and I worked at, you know, various different little plants or whatever and things of that nature. But I also I had my own little lawn service. I cut grass and all that type of shit. So,
was that profitable?
I mean, you can build up a nice clientele if you got a lot of machinery to do it.
I see.
Outside of just a lawnmower.
Quit these jobs, got fired from these jobs. What ended up happening?
The plant jobs, they ended because of the big three situation that happened with the car plants and all that. All that just stopped. They, you know, that ended. A lot of places closed down. The smoothie shop, that closed down too. My cousin ended up moving back down south. So, that situation, but I always I stay hustling all the time. You know what I mean? Whether it was in the streets or something legal.
What's the big three? Explain that.
The car places, you know, General Motors, Chrysler, Ford.
When they left?
Yeah.
And they took jobs elsewhere?
Yeah. Overseas,
I think, right?
Yeah. They sent jobs to like Mexico and overseas and things of that nature.
Right. Now, with those jobs that you did have, any crazy stories out of those jobs? Anything out of the norm?
Man, I done seen people was cheating on their wife, and they wife them pulled up and came into the job and acted a fool on them, got them fired. It was crazy. You see a lot of things in there.
Now, you mentioned your mom in this interview. What happened with your father?
Well, my father, he actually, he was head of the union at that time, you know what I'm saying? So he helped get a lot of people jobs and stuff. And at the time, I was too young for him to get me in certain places. But by the time I got old enough, he had retired. So I was kind of like stuck out of that situation. But, you know, he definitely helped me through my whole life as far as like becoming a man and, you know, getting myself together.
So he's still in your life?
Yeah.
Okay. Parents separated?
Nope.
Together?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Cool. You didn't mention him, so I assumed they were separated.
No.
I see. Okay, so together. Now, your parents are probably the last of a dying generation of a two-parent household, because most people I interview nowadays, and I ask them what's the deal with their parents, a lot of single-parent homes, broken homes, maybe not even a parent as their guardian, maybe a grandmother, an aunt, an uncle, even a brother. I've heard of that happening too. Yeah,
it's a rare breed, man. It's deep. It's crazy right now.
How long have they been married for?
27 years, I believe.
What do you think their secret is on staying married?
Longevity in their marriage, I believe, is communication. You gotta communicate. You know, I think that's a big reason for divorce. I mean, because without communication, that causes issue with finances and
Right.
you know, different things of that nature. So.
Now, what about as far as siblings? Are you the only child?
No, I got a sister and I got a younger brother.
Anybody else in your family raps aside from yourself, or just you?
Yeah, I got a cousin that rap. That's actually who kind of like inspired me to rap, because I was actually a producer at first.
Oh, okay.
So
Got you.
yeah, I got
Have
a
you
cousin.
have you guys collabed?
Yeah, we actually have quite a bit. Like, it's just, I don't know, I can't explain. It's like magic when we get around each other, because I'm already building the track in my head before I even lay it. And he used to, like, when he come around, he just get to spitting these rhymes. I'm like, man, that's dope, that's dope. And I already, as I'm hearing it, I'm building how I wanted to sound already. So it was just like, it's just magic. You know what I mean? I got my own record label as well too. So.
Now, what does your family think about your rap career?
I mean, they support me. They definitely support me. I mean, I done came a long way to where I'm at now.
Were they supportive from? Was your parents supportive?
In the beginning, nah, my mom, she used to actually tear my raps out of my notebook. This ain't no schoolwork. Throw this shit away. You know, she didn't know I was gonna take it serious like that. But she knew I had a talent. I was gifted as far as when it come to music. I've been beating on pots since I was 2 years old.
So she's warmed up to it at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Have your parents ever seen you perform?
Yeah, she has.
What were their reaction?
She actually congratulated me and told me I did my thing, you know. So.
Now, in regards to your parents, what's the worst thing you put them through?
I believe it was not staying in school. I think that was the worst thing.
Now, we spoke about a variety of subjects in regards to your upbringing, but generally speaking, what's your message to the youth? What would you tell them today?
You know, man, stay in school and chase your dream. You know, do what you got to do to accomplish your goals. You know, set goals for yourself, because I think this generation is lost on that. There's no goals.